Well, he's the most difficult player to guard or have a game plan for. Nobody can really take over a game like he does. And the problem that you have with LeBron is
oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
It's Eastern Conference time for the traveling Indiana Pacers today. Great to have you with us, everybody, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And, of course, they're still without Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, Kevin, that's just terrible news. Never what you want to hear or see. With an injury of that severity, it's hard to imagine we're going to see him back out there anytime soon.
And you know what? You just got to push on. I mean, really next man up. And I think they understand the situation. There's no time frame. And so they just have to adjust the rotation and try to carry on as well they can.
Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. Bennett, he's in at the point. Hill is out there with LaVoy Allen. Bennett's Ellis, and it's George in at the small forward position. Bennett kicks to Allen. George dishes to Bennett. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. Shumpert with it. Last time, 14 points for him. And stolen by Bennett for the finish. Throws down the breakaway jam.
And, Kevin, who says a point guard should look to pass first? I mean, not when you can finish like this, though.
Well, Clark, he wasn't going to give that opportunity up to a teammate.
Well, you know, Kevin, that's one he'll always take himself, and he should. I mean, you can't pass up that kind of opportunity or fun.
You can't give him that shot. A few overlooks are all it takes to get him in the zone.
And the basket by Hill.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
Pacers on defense. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
And were able to overcome what was a really poor shooting night. And you're not going to be able to win with a percentage as low as theirs that often unless you defend.
No style points earned for sure, Greg, in that game. But they did hit the big shots when they needed them. And oftentimes it's not what you do as much as when you do it.
That's good.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
Bennett kicks to George. Pass to Ellis. Indiana moving it around. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Love.
Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Fortunate to get it through. I thought he was headed the other way with that one.
Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Nice shot by Bennett.
4 or 5 shots have dropped for them already. Not a bad way to get things started.
Now here's Shumpert. He's covered by Bennett and stolen by Bennett by himself. Finishes the break with a slam.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Here's Shumpert following the score by Indiana. Smith wide open. He fires. It's good from long range. Smith's got 5 now.
Lights out here, right out of the gate. Perfect 4-4 from the floor.
Nice shot by Bennett.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
James outside. Off the left rim and out.
4 or 5 to start the game. That's their first miss.
Goes up, and Bennett throws it down.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
Both free throws. Good from Love.
We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
And stolen by Love. Ellis against Smith. Feeds it to Shumpert. LeBron outside. Mozgov kicks to Smith. Love with the screen for Smith. 6 to shoot. Baseline try. Can't get it to go. So Indiana will take it the other way. The Cavaliers beat them last time when these two teams met in Cleveland.
Yeah, and last time out, they sort of shot themselves in the foot with the foul trouble. That was what led to them having such an ugly scoreline.
And Greg, the foul trouble was a big chunk of it. I mean, it's hard to mount a comeback when all your key guys, your main players, are watching from the bench.
Indiana leading by 3. Hill a screen on Shumpert. They double him with Love. Bennett setting the pick for Hill. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
Yeah, good call there. I mean, feet clearly moving when he set the screen.
And he lowered the shoulder, too. I mean, they were going to get him there one way or the other. I mean, that was an easy call.
Pick by Mozgov. Passes it to Smith. A 3. Shot is off. And Indiana will go the other way with it. And now we'll go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with David Blatt.
His biggest concern seemed to be how to contain Monte Ellis on the offensive end. He said, quote, no matter where he is on the floor, he is a threat to score because he can get into the lane whenever he wants. We'll just have to try and get the ball out of his hands on the offensive end. We'll see if they can do just that.
Thanks again, Doris.
J.R. Smith. Boy, he's mercurial, but he is something to behold when he's knocking down shots like that.
And here is our 2K leaderboard. These teams have been on fire over the course of the past 10 games.
It's due to better shot selection lately, Kevin. They're taking their time to make sure the shots they take go in. Really good self-discipline there.
Anderson Varejau's checked in for Cleveland. Thompson comes in for Kevin Love. Turner's checked in for the Pacers. Hill comes in for Ellis. Indiana again missing. For Cleveland, they've gone 6 of 9, shooting it well. Smith on the wing. Smith missing again.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
Here's George. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
But that basket, that's now 8 of the last 10 points they've surrendered coming on fast breaks.
And they just look asleep out there in terms of transition, not showing nearly enough urgency in getting back.
Now, here is Smith. He really played well in that last game against Golden State.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Wasted no time on that one. 14 points for Freak.
Everything going according to the script for them offensively so far.
Clark, shots be falling. That's for sure. They're scoring with a tremendous amount of confidence.
You went straight playground old school there, partner.
Here's George. Great D that time from James.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Smith for 3. And the basket for the 4th time from the field. He's a healthy 4 for 6.
This quarter has brought out the best in them, fellas. Even though they're still trailing, he's been impossible to contain.
Then at the pass to Turner. From 13, good. He hits the jump shot.
And a big height advantage right there.
You know, it's tough to bring a big man that far away from the goal, but that might be a mismatch they're willing to live with.
Now here is Smith. 10 points for him. Shumpert is screen on George. Smith for 3. Another 3 for Cleveland.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Here's Hill. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. All alone, and LeBron throws it down.
And you can see the importance of that steal. I mean, really a 4-point turnaround with the conversion at the other end right there.
Yeah, the importance of the defense there. Instead of giving up the bucket and having that 5-point deficit, all of a sudden, we got a tie ball game.
Plenty of daylight on that shot. 16 points for Freak.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Fans, you gotta get loud. Come on, let's have a round of applause for the Cavalier girls.
And here are the numbers for Turner. His last 10 games, he's putting up about 8 points a game, 7 rebounds, and just over 2 blocks. And guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
And fellas, I would say he's been overachieving a little bit lately. Hopefully this is a sign of greater things for the future.
Hill, he's checked in for Indiana. And here we go. Finished off the breaks. And it's a 4-point Pacer lead. And what's your take, guys, on the sticks for Indiana?
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break. Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Now here's Shumpert. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. LeBron with it. He's picked up by Hill. James kicks to Shumpert. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. James has got his 3rd assist on the night. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Bennett kicks to Turner. Pass to Bennett. Shot from 12. And James pulls it down. And here's the fast break. LeBron leading the way. Got a piece of it. Now the Pacers moving it up. 4 seconds left. And there's the nice layup by Hill. Hill's got his 2nd bucket of the game to go.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And Greg, I love the fact he's always...
And LeBron James trying to will his Cavaliers team to its first title. Teammate Kevin Love says LeBron made it clear from the start what he expected.
He sat us down maybe right before the first practice and kind of spoke about what he thought everyone should bring to the table. And, we had to hold up our end of the bargain.
When someone like LeBron joins for the Cavaliers, Anderson Varejau's checked in for Mozgov. And it's Thompson in for Kevin Love. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Hill, he's checked in for Turner. Paul George comes in for Solomon Hill. Hill, he's checked in for Ellis. And Bennett subbed in for Sean Livingston. And so in the game for the Pacers. Bennett, he's in at point guard. LeVoy Allen out there with Hill. Then it's Paul George. And it's Hill in at shooting guard. Indiana's gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Allen kicks to Hill. There's the pass to Bennett. On the wing, Hill, covered by Smith. Nice shot by Bennett.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Shumpert dishes to LeBron. He kicks it to Varejao. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. Varejau's got the game tied up here for Cleveland. Balanced scoring, Clark, for them. They're moving it well.
Yeah, you love to see teams share the sugar. Everybody getting a touch, everybody enjoying an opportunity to score. That makes it a lot of fun for everybody on the court.
You know, it sounds better when you say it than watch it. Okay? I like better when you say it. Sharing the sugar.
You might want to cut down on that sugar intake, though, Clark. But anyway, everybody's been involved in this offense here early on, and it has a way of helping you defensively.
And that's a punch to the jaw. This game as tight as it can be, and he pulls something off that we might not even see in the All-Star game, Kevin.
But, Clark, I don't know that he planned it out too far in advance. That was one of those things that just happened.
I think it was premeditated.
I really don't. I think that he's one of those guys that just plays off of instinct, and they don't mind him making those kinds of plays, even in a close game.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities to get to the line.
Yeah, I like everything you said there, because when all else fails, if you can get to the strike, that's really a good way to change the momentum in the game, because you get points and you also slow down the opponent because the game isn't going up and down as much.
He dishes it to Allen. Hill kicks to Bennett. It's George on the wing. Shot off the screen. Offensive rebound. Allen. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. J.R. Smith picks one up.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
And Allen drops them both.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
My kind of hoops. Straight ahead, playing downhill, and physical.
Dives for it. Out of bounds. Indiana takes possession. Well, when you think of the great playmakers in league history, John Stockton per game averaged double-digit dimes. Think of this. For his career, 15,806 career assists. A record you knew right off would stand for a very long time.
And guys, you know, you look up point guard in the dictionary, and there's a nice little picture of John Stockton there. I mean, he is an unreal distributor. Control the game like no one ever has before or since. It's no coincidence that Utah never missed the playoffs in any of the 19 seasons that John Stockton was at the helm.
Outside jumper. Down to 5 on the shot clock. It's rebounded by Indiana.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
And really, how about the quick release on that triple there, because he's given up a lot of height in that matchup.
Right on target you are, Greg. I mean, the quick release is what made the difference there. Any hesitation, and that shot is being blocked.
And so we wrap up the first half. Pacers.
Well, Tristan, what do you take?
Hey guys, listen up. We've got a good lead, but lots of basketball left to play.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. You look at Freak in this game, he has been everywhere.
And how about his scoring in that first half? He just looked like a different player today. Really on point.
Quite honestly, it's been a pleasant surprise for him. You know, he really hit on something that worked in those first 2 quarters, guys.
LeBron and Love are the talented pair at the forward position. Smith is out there with Iman Shumpert. And it's Mozgov in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now.
Not good shot selection. Long range and the defender all up in your jersey.
And, you know, that's just the kind of defensive work he's known for. I mean, he can take that shot away from you and does it more times than not.
And just a nice bucket there to really just sustain that lead.
Well, a few more possessions like that, and they'll do more than sustain the lead, Greg. I think they'll start to put this thing away by pulling away.
The drive by Shumpert. Excellent D there from Allen.
Oh, excellent interior D to force the miss.
His defensive ability is a big factor. I mean, there's no denying that.
That's good.
And his stroke has been dead on from the outside. I mean, inside, outside, it just doesn't matter.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right. James outside. Kicks to Mozgov. Hill pulls it in. Hill's got rebound number 7 for him tonight.
And that'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the boards.
You know what? No rebounds, no rings, and they've controlled the boards, and that's what's given them control of this game.
He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
Shumpert passes to James. Oh, good on the triple.
That's a big donut, folks, here to start the second half. 4 straight they've missed.
Here's Hill. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
Pacers have been good at the free throw line in this one, 7 of 8. Turner's checked in for Allen. He hits the second from the line. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Let's take this chance to showcase the top setup man at the small forward position in the NBA. LeBron James, number 1.
Well, you hear the term point forward thrown around about some players, maybe a little too loosely. But when it comes to him, I truly believe it applies.
Absolutely. I mean, they want him touching the ball every time down, making sure the offense flows through him. He's going to make decisions that are good for his team out there, and those assist numbers prove that.
It's hauled in by LeBron.
You rarely see him missing dunks, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough.
Here's George. Here's Turner. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
He just punishes you on the backboard. I mean, it's pretty deflating for a team trailing big and still giving up second chance opportunities.
And Indiana making a change here. Hill's checked in. Picked by Mozgov. And Shumpert kicks to LeBron. Back to Shumpert. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. 8 points for Amon Shumpert.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
Nice shot by Bennett.
That is so tough to defend. He'll cross you over in a nanosecond. That move is next to unstoppable.
James outside. Mozgov sets a screen for LeBron. All alone. Bounces high off the rim and drops. James has got 15 points.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
They weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
1:06 left here in the third quarter. Now Bennett, 28 points for him.
Move the ball. Sticking too much.
Up and in on the layup. 8 here in the quarter.
Strong work for him at the offensive end, helping them to maintain that lead.
James kicks to Love. Now here's James. He's covered closely.
There you go. I mean, this is the time to get aggressive. I mean, they need to keep feeding him the basketball.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. Bennett dishes to Allen. And good as it rattles through the hoop. Allen's got the lead up to 13 now for the Pacers.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
6-second difference between the shot and game play. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. No good on that one. J.R. Smith checked in for the Cavaliers. Amon Shumpert has come in for Kevin Love. Good on the second free throw.
Thank you, Cleveland!
There's 21 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
Yeah, this is not about charity, folks. That's his fourth giveaway already. He's letting his guard down out there.
And here's Smith. 22 points for him. Back to James. With one on the clock. He hits the shot at the very last second. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Pacers leading by 10. On the court for Indiana. Bennett in at point guard. Paul George is out there with Allen. Then it's Turner. And it's Hill in at the shooting guard position.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
And Turner with the block. Mozgov's gone 1 of 3 on the night. Bennett kicks to George. And the powerful one-handed slam.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
And Bennett throws it down.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Pacers.
Well, they forced a decent number of turnovers in this one, fellas, and they've turned most of those turnovers into points.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
Hill, he's checked in for Indiana. Ellis comes in for George Hill. And the first one drops. And both free throws good for Paul George. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Mozgov, a screen on Ellis. Inside, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Solid work on the back end of that play.
Yeah, finished hard with 2 hands on the stuff.
Yeah, nothing extravagant, guys, but again, no need on that one.
Bennett the pass to Allen. And it's good off the back of the rim and in.
This is crazy. Every shot they're taking right now is finding the mark.
Literally every shot, partner. I mean, they just aren't missing.
Thompson sets the pick for James. LeBron is doubled. And Shumpert kicks to Mozgov. That's good. Mozgov's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And their solid play in the paint continues, guys.
And that's been their focus, it seems, throughout the game. I like the discipline that they've showed in terms of creating those opportunities on the inside.
Bennett dishes to Hill. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
And it's Shumpert penetrating. Look at that jam. I mean, Shumpert's beautiful. Putting on a show for these people.
I cannot believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. Are you kidding me?
I'll tell you what, Mama always said, if you got it, flaunt it.
Let it fly. Let it fly.
Mama said that, huh? LeBron passes to Thompson, and Allen with the block. Fast break. Here comes Indiana. Ellis with the ball.
And that's really the change in our game. It's the overall athletic ability. I love those point guards that can throw it down.
Well, you've talked about that. That's a dose of the modern NBA, Greg. That kind of aerial ability isn't limited now to just the front court anymore.
That's exactly right.
You know, I look at it this way, guys. It seems to me there are more high flyers at guard than anywhere else in the league these days.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
The screen from Thompson. And it's Shumpert penetrating. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
That's good from Allen on the assist by Hill. And that's 13 points for Allen.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and... Well, for one, he hasn't let them down. I mean, but a few other guys need to pick up the pace if they're going to be good.
Count the bucket. Bennett's got 38 points.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And, Greg, you know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
Knocked away. Now here's Shumpert. He's covered by Bennett. Here's Mozgov. Rebound Hill. Hill's got 13 rebounds in the game. Class eating. George with the bucket.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
And I say, hey, if it keeps working, go to it. Stay with it. I mean, until the defense responds and provides more resistance, keep making them pay.
Here's Bennett.
It's been about tempo and pace with this group, and it's led to a huge advantage in fast break points.
Greg, it's really the main reason they're in front. All that early offense. I mean, when they've had the chance to push it, they've pushed it.
Dishes it to Mozgov. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. 8 points for Timofey Mozgov.
Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game.
And he is the ultimate when it comes to being a floor leader on the offensive end.
Yeah, you know, he's got a little bit of Greg Anthony in it. And he has been that leader today. I think he's done a really nice job of moving the ball and distributing it the way it needs to be done.
Yeah, well, Clark, I'm glad you referenced specifically why you thought he had a little Greg Anthony. I thought you were talking about my knees, my man, 'cause he looked a little hobbled out there for a moment.
He's doing it all for them right now on the offensive side. No matter what the defense has done, they haven't been able to find an answer to stop him, and he's had an answer for every defense he's seen.
Smith kicks to Thompson. He feeds it to Shumpert. Thompson sets the pick for Shumpert. No good from outside.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
Hill kicks to George. 6 to shoot. And Mozgov comes to help. Fires the 3. Offensive rebound. Here's Bennett. Again, Indiana.
And that's exactly how they've gotten the lead right here. Easily, he's been their most consistent performer.
As simple as it gets. He's hitting everything he's looked at. Keep feeding the fire.
And here we go with Allen running it up the court. And again it will go. Basket is good from Bennett. Bennett's got 46 points.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor.
Shot's good. And that's now 10 points for Timofey Mozgov.
We've seen a noticeable improvement out of him since halftime. He didn't have a whole lot working in the first half.
Bennett kicks to Allen. Wants to get it to Hill and does. Good for another basket. He's put up 10 shots and made 7 of them.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Indiana.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today, you know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
And so now, on the year, they'll have 35 wins to their credit.
And digging themselves out of a 2-0 hole in this season series, very significant accomplishment. And they still have another game to play, which would give them a chance to ultimately go 2-2 if they win that last game against the Cavaliers.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Freak. You have to focus on the steals he came up with. They were huge factors in the end result.
And there's the feed to Allen. Soft touch off the glass.
Well, if it wasn't out of reach, it is now, thanks to that last little spurt.
And why put the brakes on now? I just say keep on letting it fly.
James. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup.
When you can make adjustments to the shot in midair and midstream and still knock it down, you know you're flowing.
Here's Bennett. Thompson with the rebound. And it's the Cavaliers with the ball. Smith dishes to Shumpert. Here's Bennett. From deep three-point range, misses the shot. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, big numbers for you on the offensive end. How were you able to consistently get your shot?
I mean, just putting in so many hours in the gym, you know, on playgrounds and everywhere in between. Now my shot is just as consistent as it gets. I can make most shots blindfolded, honestly. Making them in the game with my eyes open, that's just okay, as you can see in this game.
Kevin, an interesting response. Over to you.
All right, Doris, great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now time to send you over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson for the postgame show with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Freak. Just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot and just never cooled down. That boost he gave his team early on, a huge factor.
You know, Freak was a 4.0 honor student growing up. And tonight, that high IQ is one of the things we saw on display with that sensational performance. Combine his smarts with the fact that he lives and breathes basketball, there's no doubt that he's one of the most intelligent players we have in this league.
He was completely in sync with the whole team tonight. And you can see that in the assist numbers, which were spectacular, I might add. It's hard to imagine him having a better night passing the basketball. Man.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.